Okay, 136.3, exercises. Up front, I give you the summary, what was derived in this section, and probably should have access to that when you're doing the problems, have it written down somewhere. So when you look at, I'm sorry, so when you're looking at the problems, you know what to do. I don't think a teacher would ask you to memorize this. They might entertain the idea of being able to derive the formula, but memorizing it, I don't think it's a good idea. All right? So let's look at the problems. Let's start with number one. And it says solve for x. Well, looking at it, I do know there's three roots to it. I'm seeing these roots right over here. Let's just outline that for you. There's a root here. I know that root's roughly about minus 1.9. I see a root here roughly about minus point, I don't know, maybe 2.5. And this one over here, roughly let's say 2.1. What we're going to do, though, is write down, for the formula, we're going to write down things about the formula. And again, the formula, I need to identify the A and the B in the formula. So let me just remind you that we need an equation of this form over here. X cubed minus AX minus B equals 0. So looking at that, I could certainly identify it's in that form, right? So what's the A going to be? 4. What's the B going to be? The B is going to be 1. Then just plug it into the formula. And what's C going to be? I'll write this over here. Z is arc cosine. And that's going to be B over 2. And then it's going to be the square root of 27 over A cubed. And what's A cubed? That's going to be 64. All right? Whoops, forgot to put the B down. Sorry about that. B is 1. Kind of a nasty number, but let's write this down. Z equals arc cosine. Be good if I could simplify that, right? So let's take a look over there. Well, 64 is a perfect square, and 2 times 64 is going to, I'm sorry, 2 times the square root of 64, well, that's going to be 8, that's going to be 16. Excuse me. The square root of 27, there's a 9 there with the root 3 left over. All right? Again, that's a nasty number. What I mean by that is it's not something you can easily compute. The deal about this, I'm not looking for a computation. I'm looking to write down the answers now. Where the answer is going to be, there's going to be 3 roots. And what the 3 roots going to be, let's write this down. X1 is going to be equal to 2 root A. What's A? It's 4 over 3 times the cosine of Z. Well, you know what? I don't think I really want to write Z down because Z is up here. I know what Z is. Z divided by 3. Now, that's the exact answer. If you want an approximate, you're going to have to use a calculator to do that. And then when you get up here, X2, that's the second root. Excuse me. That's going to be 2 over, let's see, root A. What's A again? I can't remember. Oh, 4 over 3 cosine. And now they have 2 pi plus Z. So I'll put this over here. Again, remember what Z is, that awful looking number up there. And then what do you get in the bottom? You get 3. I'm not opposed to using a calculator to do this. Whoops, sorry, it's that over there. Let me write down X3 now. What's that going to be? 2 root 4 thirds times the cosine of 2 pi minus Z. And again, we've already computed the Z over 3. All right? So let's just check our key and see if we've got that listed. And let's see if we've got the Z right. And the Z's here. And they didn't simplify it, though. But I certainly have that written up there. You don't need to simplify it, but it doesn't add to the problem by simplifying it. Did I write down X1? I got this. I got this. The only thing I didn't do is the computation. How did I do the computation? I used a calculator, all right, or a computer algebra system. This one over here. I got this one over here as well. This one over here. Got this one here as well. What I'm going to recommend you do, though, is use a calculator just to make sure you don't understand what you're saying. Did we see this one in the list? Yeah, it's right here. Do we see this one in the list? Yeah, it's right here. Do we see this one in the list? Yeah, it's right about here. So again, we have a visual on it, and that's important. You have a visual on it. All right, so that's about it for number one. But again, I want to emphasize, form has been derived. It applies to this form, and provided we can identify the a and the b in it, we can write down the z, and then compute the 3 roots of the cubic. All right, that's all we're looking to do. Thank you.